In this episode, I'm going to show you how to easily make your own micarta for knife handles. To start this project off, you're going to need some felt craft sheets, some epoxy. I recommend a long working time. This one is 45 minutes, as well as some containers to mix your epoxy in, and some protection for your hands. Some wax paper and a vacuum sealer. This was a $15 one I got on Amazon. There will be a link to all this stuff in the description. It's well worth the extra money. Once you have all your materials together, you're going to want to start off by cutting out 2 sheets of wax paper, which are roughly the same size as the inside of your bag. Doesn't need to be exact, this is just to protect from extra epoxy squeeze out later on. You can slide those in your bag once you have them cut, and then set that bag off to the side. Next, you're going to want to cut out your felt sheets. Now, in this case, I'm making a small piece of only one color, but if you'd like, you could layer multiple colors to create a pattern and make these as big as you can fit in a bag. Next, you're going to want to start soaking these in epoxy. I used a measured cup, which I marked the lines out with a Sharpie just to make it a little easier, and I mixed up a total of about 40 milliliters of epoxy, which was just right for this amount of felt. Once it was mixed, I started pouring it onto the felt. I flipped the felt around in each layer and mixed it all around until each piece was thoroughly saturated, and this took just a few minutes to really get it in there, and I rubbed it in with my fingers. This is why it's really important to have some gloves. Once they're all saturated, you can grab your wax paper and plop your felt onto the paper. Once it's on there, you can take off your gloves because you don't need them anymore, and then you can fold up the rest of your wax paper over the felt. I recommend having a lot of overhang here, and then once that's done, you can bring back your bag from earlier, stick it in between those 2 layers of wax paper, and seal the bag shut. And here you can't quite see the top of the pump, it's out of frame, but I'm vacuum sealing this, and then we're going to set it off to the side and let the epoxy cure. Once it's cured, you can open the bag up and release your little guy from his paper prison. I unfortunately lost the recording of me taking this out of the bag, but here's some pictures of it next to a few other pieces I've done. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back next week where we put this to use on the Nikiri we're working on.